Welcome to the Strategy Skills Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Safarova, and our podcast sponsor today is strategytraining.com. If you want to strengthen your strategy skills, you can get the overall approach used in well-managed strategy studies. It is a free download, and you can get it at firmsconsulting.com/overall approach. And you can also get McKinsey and BCG winning resume example. It's actually actual resume that got offers from both firms. And you can get it at firmsconsulting.com/resume PDF. And today we are speaking with Eric Cogorno. Eric took his business from 80,000 to 1.5 million revenue a year in less than 5 years. And he has grown an audience of over 500,000 followers and has 3 to 5 million views per month. So if you are interested in building your professional brand, I think you will really benefit from this episode. Eric, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Look forward to being here. As we mentioned off camera, this might be a little bit different than some of the audience is used to. So hopefully we'll share some good things here and add some value today.
Eric, so you've built an impressive following of over 500,000. That is very difficult to do. What specifically you did to grow your audience from scratch?
Yeah, so as a background for some of the listeners, we do golf videos. So I taught golf and gave golf lessons individually for a couple of years, and really spent my first, maybe 5 to 10 years of my professional career focusing on getting great at the craft. Like, how do I get really good at coaching golf and giving golf lessons? And then at some point in time, for me, in that 5 to 10 year range, this is probably in my late 20s. I was doing a lot of 1 hour golf lessons with people and really felt like burnt out, when I was 28 years old. So I was still like, man, I'm young and I should feel I'm healthy. I should feel vibrant. I felt burnt out. And that's really when I made the decision, hey, I want to start to create some content online and get out of my, in-person one-on-one hourly coaching and try and, build an audience online and scale that. And so I think having a lot of clarity of why I wanted to build the audience and what I wanted to do really helped, lead to us starting the channel and the consistency that we needed along the way. Like YouTube for us has been our main strategy. And it's taken it's not one of those you post a video or two, as you know, and then you snap a finger and you have a big audience. So this is our 8th year of posting videos. For our first 6 years, to fast forward a little bit, we posted videos every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, like it was our full-time job and became a main priority. So I think a lot of consistency was a big key in building the audience. I think having a lot of clarity of why we wanted to do it was a big key to getting through that first 12 to 24 months. I think a lot of creators that first year or two of just plowing through the work, because you'll post a bunch of videos and no one watches. And you're like, gosh, I spent a lot of time on this video. I think it's good content. How do you get more people to watch? So to get to the point where you could build expertise and build an audience, you have to get through at least probably posting 100 or so videos. So I think the consistency has led us to a lot of success, but the clarity, why we wanted to do it and the focus of where we were going. And then I also think the last main thing was we started in 2016, 17. So it was nicer to be a little bit earlier, to the market relative to how many people post now. But I think the consistency of the 3 times a week, no matter what, was the big factor.
100%. And you guys were able to maintain it the entire time, all these years.
Yeah. So we had a rule. I mean, I have a business partner named Mary, and how many times we had a meeting? We have a set meeting every Monday at 12 o'clock. So in our calendars, our filming YouTube videos was our number one priority. So let's say I was coaching golf before, and I would coach golf Monday through Saturday, mid-morning to late afternoon type of thing. So in the beginning, when we started filming and posting, it was kind of like, when we have time, we'll kind of do it here, do it there. But that was difficult. It's like a do it when you feel like it kind of thing. And then a lot of times you don't feel like it, you don't end up doing it. So what really helped me, what was key, was blocking off that block in our calendar. Like, let's make this a priority. And we did it Mondays at 12. So it was like start of the week, not the end of the week. Like, this is a priority. So we filmed every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for 8 years. Minus maybe a holiday or two, but hey, 12 o'clock's our filming time. From 12 to 2 o'clock, we film videos. And then from 2 to 4, we'll do our meetings and going over things we need to be able to do. And in those meetings, I don't remember how many times I said, we just have to post 3 videos a week. Just keep posting 3 videos a week. Like everything will be secondary to just get the quantity of workout so that we can get enough feedback to improve the quality. I think a lot of people who struggle in the online space are so focused on quality early, which I totally understand. You want to put a video out, you don't want to look bad. There's ego involved, especially if you have a successful business already. But you have to just, I think you have to get a lot of quantity out, and focus on just what can you do that you can sustain for a long enough period of time that you'll be able to build an audience and get enough feedback. And our mantra I'm giving you a lot at one time here, but I mean, our mantra has just been like, we'll post a set of videos, let's say 3 per week, and then just keep trying to look at that set and make the next set a little better. Like, even if there's one little thing, what's one little thing from this last set that we could make better from the next one? And that could be as little as like, the intro hook of the video, or how I said a certain thing, or our editing, or the title or thumbnail. But I didn't learn a lot of the things I know now until year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that there was just no way to really learn in year 1. And I think a lot of creators just never get past that. Either don't get started, don't get past that first critical year.
Thank you so much for sharing the details. This is exactly what I would love to hear from you, because this is exactly what is helpful. So now you're also building a second brand, which is very tough, starting from scratch, completely different audience. So are you doing 3 videos for the new one as well, the new channel? And you're doing 3 for one, 3 for another?
So the new one now, we're just doing 1 per week. Our main golf channel that we did 3 a year for, I guess, 6 years. And then last year we shifted into like 2 per year, or 2 per week, 2 per year, 2 per week. One of the things I've noticed was when we post a video online and it gets a lot of traction, like let's say it gets more views than our normal video, my mentality before was just, hey, we're going to post Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, 10 a.m. no matter what. Now I realize, like, if that video is doing well, instead of posting another video, then YouTube has to decide which of these 2 videos it wants to promote to the audience. So instead of doing that, we said, hey, when we have a video that's doing really good, let's give that time to mature a little bit. Let's let YouTube push that out amongst our followers and people who might want to see it. And we had our biggest year on YouTube last year doing that. So we made the most AdSense, most amount of followers and such. So I think now I'm a little bit more, I judge each video in particular. We make a little bit of tweak there. But I think if you're starting, it's good just to build the habit and the muscle of like, this date, this date, this date, this time, put it in your calendar and do it no matter what. So now we do just 2 per week on average on YouTube. Also in year 8, I'm looking for sustainability now. Like how long can I talk about golf? How many more times can we do these videos? So sustainability is a little bit of a factor. For the new channel, we started personal development, lessons I've learned with Eric Cogorno, we're calling that. We're just doing 1 a week. And that's just really out of like capacity. One of the things I think we've done well, although it keeps us smaller, is like be very aware of what we can handle at a time without adding on more team and, more people, especially when you're creating content in the beginning and you don't want to put a lot of resources into it. There's only so many videos you can do at one time. So we're going like 1 or 2 on the golf, 1 on the personal development per week. But also, Christina, with the personal development, like I'm 35 now. I want to do personal development until I'm like 100. Like I don't have any end date with that. So it's also a very, very, very long play, where when I do the math of like, okay, if we post 1 video per week, that's 50 a year. If I do that for the next 10 years, that's 500 videos. So that I'm thinking much more long-term with.
How do you select which videos to post, and how do you prepare for the videos?
Yeah. So in the beginning of building the channel, let's say for the golf channel first, basically what I wanted to do was create an evergreen video, a video that would last and be relevant forever on every topic in my industry. So for golf, there's just so many micro things involved. How your left foot works, your right foot, your left knee, your right knee, your left, there's hundreds of topics that I wanted to do 1 great video on every topic. So when YouTube, especially in 2017, but it's a search engine at the end of the day, how to, blank, how to fix my golf swing, how to fix my slice. So I wanted to do a video on every one of those, and that takes a while. Like, let's say there's 300 videos. That takes quite a while to fill those. And then I think once you hit all those, whatever in your industry is like the main topics to hit at least once, by the time you go through that whole list, you could probably go back and start at number one again and just do a better version of it because you've learned more. You can make the video better. And I would say, no matter whoever's listening, in whatever industry you're in, there's got to be, to make up a number, there's got to be 100 just general evergreen videos you could do in your industry, I would bet, if you really sit down and list them out. And then I would do each one of them again better. And then I would look at what people are searching for, like the clients or audience that you want to be able to hit. So for me, it'd be like someone's trying to improve. How do I improve my golf swing? How do I fix my slice? How do I, XYZ, insert whatever topic you want to be able to hit. And I would look at the people who did videos on that topic. So what I used to do, let's say I wanted to say how to fix my slice. And I would watch like the top 20 or 30 videos. So we would film on a Monday at 12. On Sunday was my like prep day. So I would like, it's important to me. So I invest a lot of time in it. I would on Sunday watch all those videos on that topic just to see what everyone was doing. What are they saying? What is this person doing? And then trying to craft, oh, I like that. Oh, I don't like that. I would do this way, and try and shift that into your own, little message. And that's worked really well. Like we continue to do that same strategy now. Like, what does the audience want? What is the customer looking for? What are people? So on YouTube, your customer is someone on YouTube, and what you're sort of selling is attention. Like you're trying to get someone's attention. And so what are they searching for? What do the people want to watch? And try and create the best videos around that. We probably spend about 80% of our time continuing to do what works. Like if this topic, title, thing is working, we'll double down and just continue doing similar style. And then we spend about 20% of our time trying to test new things. There's a different format of video or topic or title that people aren't doing that could work. It's ended up, pretty generally in that sense. Now with the personal development, this being new, we've got to, we can fast track the improvement because we know a lot compared to the beginning. Like one of the things I did not know in the beginning that I very much realize now is the title and the thumbnail are the most important parts of the video. Like we spent years and years and years and years and years focused on a lot on the quality of the content of the video and not enough on the title and thumbnail. If I could go back and change one thing. So in our videos now, we spend a lot of time on the title of the video and the thumbnail. And then the content of the video, the content of the message of anything you put out has to be good, especially now when people are putting out. You want me to keep going with this? I'm giving you a long answer here.
I love it. Continue.
Okay. So when you watch now, and there's so many platforms, and you hear people talk about how many posts you have to do on different platforms. It's easy to get lazy in the quality of the videos. And so like everything I'm saying works, assuming your quality, meaning what you're saying is good. Like the actual things coming out of your mouth work, they're good, they will help people. If that's true, then the like lighting in the video, the audio, the technical stuff doesn't have to be as good because what you're providing is so good. And the biggest thing that gets you is the people come back. Similar to like if you're running a business and you're selling a product, you can get a customer once, but to get the customer month after month after month, the thing you do has to be really good. So assuming the content that you're doing is good and helpful, like we did so many videos that I think were so good that no one watched. And it's because we didn't get the title and the thumbnail correct because we didn't put enough energy on it. So to give you an idea now, like every video we post, there'll probably be 20 iterations of a thumbnail for us to pick one that we like. For 4 or 5 years, we didn't talk about the thumbnail at all. They just created it once. We never even talked about it and they posted it. So that was a huge mistake that we won't make again. But I'll do the same thing with personal development of like, what is the audience looking for? What does the market want? What is the customer looking for? Who's providing that, if anyone? Who does it the best? And then how do we take pieces of what they're doing and then, tell it through my lens and talk through it through my, with my stories and so on and so forth. But it's a lot of modeling success. It's a lot of just modeling success of what works and then taking the feedback that people give you and just making subtle improvements. Like we posted our first personal development videos there was like 15 things I saw that we need to improve. It's like, okay, let's just improve this one thing from this video to the next video, and then this one thing from this video to the next video, which just takes intention, and time of it being a priority. So when I was coaching golf, like my first year of golf coaching, I made like $7,500, let's say, almost nothing. Year two, 15,000, doubled it. Year three, so I kind of doubled every year for a while. But then I got stuck. I got stuck in like an 80 to 90 grand a year thing. But at that point in time, I was still making 80 or $90,000 a year. Yet, this YouTube thing, which was making me $0, was the first I did every week. Right. So like the priority has to go into that thing, even though it might not make money today. If that's, if it is a priority, it needs to indicate it in your calendar, I guess is where I'm going with that.
Eric, and when you were preparing for your videos on Sunday, would you write an outline? Would you write an actual script? How did you approach it?
Yeah. So I work well with like bullet points. So what I do is I'll have like a little yellow legal pad, and I'm actually preparing for so some people listening won't be able to see this, but I'll have like a yellow legal pad. And basically what I'll do is I'll write the topic of the video. Like this one I'm doing is a senior golf swing thing. And then I'll have like 4 or 5 bullet points of like main things that I want to be able to say within the video, but I won't script it out word for word. I'll just have a bullet point that I want to discuss. Now, there's a big caveat there, right? Like I spent let's say 7 or 8 years coaching golf all day, every day, meaning I communicated with a person one-on-one every hour, all day, every day. So from there, you learn a lot of communication skills. So if someone's watching this who's not used to communicating with someone, maybe they just haven't got that skill as much and they want to do videos, it might be a good idea, I think, to like script everything out and read it off that way. I think I had such an advantage of talking to golfers all day, every day, so that when I talk on camera, in my mind, I'm just talking to one of the golfers that's in front of me. That's a nice little hack or cue too for people who are doing videos. Like it's easy when you're doing a video, you think about how you look and how you sound, and does this sound right, or I fumbled this or whatever. Nobody really even cares about any of that. What they care about is the message that you're giving them in reality. So I think when you look at a camera, you're like, focus on talking to a person. But in terms of prepping for the video, also because I feel like sometimes when I'm doing a video and I have too much, I'm really not good at remembering specific things to say. Better at like, here's the general message I want to provide, and kind of let what comes out comes out. But I will do like a rehearsal run in my head, probably at least 2 or 3 times of the video the day before, the morning of, just kind of rehearsing the main topics. Our videos are typically 10 minutes ish. So it doesn't take long to rehearse. Like I'll just, I'll do about a 10-minute version, but I would have a thing I want to talk about, 3 or 4 kind of bullet points in there. But within those 3 or 4, there's really like one main message I want to get across. And then within that message, I might have like a story, a drill, whatever. But it's very like, tell them what you're going to tell them, tell them what you told them. I like a lot of repeating the same message over and over. Like in today's video, we're going to talk about how to fix your slice. There's one reason you slice the ball, and that's because your club face is too open. It's like, okay, boom, that was easy. I got that right away. And then I would just like, here's a drill to fix your club face. Okay, to recap, you know what I mean? Like it just kind of always follows the same formula. Less is more, I found in a lot of the how-to videos. One other little thing I'd say with the videos is, the titles and thumbnails have become increasingly important. People's time spans, like since TikTok and such has come out, our average view time on a video has decreased dramatically. So the first 30 seconds of your video is so important. You hear that a lot, and that is analytically very true. It is very true that the first part of your video is super important, because we're literally competing for someone's attention against everything else in their life, not just other YouTube videos, other things going on, people they're talking to, whatever. And so now I'll spend a lot more energy on how I'm going to intro the video and why they should watch. Like in today's video, I'm going to show you a reason you slice you've never heard before, and a drill you've never seen before that could fix your slice in 10 minutes. Like that's a lot more powerful and engaging than to like, okay, in today's video, we're going to fix your slice. I'll show you how to do it. like that first intro hook thing um, is so important. So I always look at it like the title and thumbnail have to be so good that they're going to click it. What would make them click on it? So the picture and the frame of it, and then the first 30 seconds have to like reaffirm their decision that this was good, and I'm going to sit through the 10 minutes. I think very similar in the business world when you deliver a product. It's like, how am I going to get this person to buy this? And then right away when they're using it, how can you reaffirm that it was a good decision? Right? Like those two bang bang hits, I think are so important.
Eric, so when you are going through those 20, 30 videos on Sunday, at which point do you start putting together your outline? Do you firstly go
Mm.
through all the videos and then it's kind of in your brain and you think, okay, this is what I'm going to talk about? Or do you make a lot of notes and then you do a summary page?
Yeah, it's funny. And I'm so like type A and analytical, and I like things neat and organized that I wish there was a simple all the time answer to that. And I always am analyzing how things happen and trying to find ways to do it. But it's just like it just happens different all the time. Some days I'll go in and I know and I watch one video and it hits me right away. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're gonna do this video, this is the topic, boom, boom, and it's very easy. And other days it's like, no matter what I do and watch, I just like can't figure it out in my brain what we want to do. Somehow, some way, even on the days when I like can't figure it out, I happen to we happen to put it together, by the time we have to film. But it's interesting. It's a great question. And it just like it flows different from time to time. And I haven't been able to pinpoint exactly um why that is, but sometimes it's simple and easy, and other times it's extremely difficult. um, I think it gets a little bit trickier the more videos you do, in that like I've already talked about this subject 50 times. How am I gonna, say it a little bit different?
So let's talk now about filming. What are some of
Mm.
the things you can share on how you film and what over the years you discovered that works best?
Yeah, so I've been very fortunate that I've got a business partner, Mary, and she does all of the filming and the editing and the audio and stuff. So that's been unbelievable. I think if you can find a good who to work with at some capacity, if you're someone who doesn't know how to do all that stuff or is intimidated by it, like I was, or doesn't want to learn, some way, shape, or form, finding someone to help with that would be amazing. I do think now, Christine, it's with the iPhones and something simpler. Like there's Rode mic, RODE, which is a mic that's very easy to use, that's inexpensive in an iPhone. I think with those two pieces of equipment, you could do like, making up a number here, 70 to 80% of the quality that you would consider certainly good enough to get your foot in the door and get started. So I think the conversation was way different in 2016, 17. But now with like a pretty good iPhone, maybe like one ring light and a Rode mic, RODE, wireless, very simple. You could just plug it right into that. You could probably get away with that. Um, but again, I think the quality of the audio is more important than the quality of the video. Like you just can't get away with bad audio. There's no way to cut it. You have to have decent audio. So external mic. Like if you're going to use an iPhone in and of itself, I would definitely get an external mic. That would be a non-negotiable. But outside of that, especially if you're going to do a video like you've got a nice setup right here. Like if you were going to do a video like this, super clean, looks good, the lighting's good. I've got a bad living room angle, but like your background there is beautiful. So like from here, if someone could have a simple setup like this, then it's like you eliminate that variable. I think we let the equipment and audio and things like that hold us back from doing it because we have to like get it perfect. Well, I think so long as you're in the playing field with that should be perfectly fine. And then focus so much more attention on the title, thumbnail, intro of the video, and content you're going to be able to put out. And even when you look like, I'm doing personal development videos now. There's a gazillion people doing personal development videos. Like any topic I do, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's been a million people that say it. But we can all say it in our own way. We've all got slightly different. I think if someone's watching this thinking about producing more content, and you're like, oh, there's already people doing it, and so on and so forth. I think there's just a slightly different angle of the same message could be exactly what an audience looks for. And if the messaging is good, we need to hear good messaging over and over and over and over. So even if it is out there pretty good, like it's okay. People are going to continue to search it. Like our golf videos, things that I think are very basic that we've done a million times, people still search and watch. Like when I redo these same videos that you think are pretty generic and simple, people are still looking for the same thing. So whatever you're looking to produce videos on, generally speaking, the next 1, 3, 5, 10 years, people are still going to be searching those same things. And I think with an iPhone and a Rode mic, you can get away with it.
Definitely, especially in the beginning. And then once you start seeing some progress, you can invest in something better.
Yeah.
So this is from the equipment side of it. What about from the talent side? So you managing yourself to deliver great performance.
Yeah. And I think, this is one I spend a lot of time with too, because it'd be similar, I think, if you run a business and you're looking at like an organizational chart and you've got people playing different roles. Not everyone is good at everything. And in the business world, I think that's fairly uniform and expected, no big deal. But when it comes to content creation, being on video and communicating, I don't think everyone is going to be as good as the next person at it. I think I had such an advantage, like I mentioned before, because I spent so much time talking one-on-one with a golfer as a coach. You have to learn how to communicate and speak. It just wasn't in front of a camera. So I think in terms of like improving yourself and doing the videos, the more you can practice the communication and watching yourself on video. I don't know if this is directly what you're asking your question, but I think it's important, which is like, if you record yourself doing something, it's hard to watch sometimes. It's like kind of difficult to watch yourself back, but it's such a valuable tool. It's like if you want to lose weight, you got to step on the scale and see how much you are, have a measurement and go down. Your measurement of your video quality is watching yourself and see where you can improve, like see your eye contact, the way you say words, the speed at which you go. You're like, man, I don't sound like that. Is that me? But that's how you have to be able to improve those things. I think for me, I was lucky to be pretty good at it. I like to think a pretty high level of self-discipline to like show up and do the videos all the time. So, and I had a business partner who could do all the back end pieces. So I think I had everything kind of lined up for me, which is pretty easy. So I think if someone's starting by themselves and don't have those things, you got to just really be diligent with building the skill. But again, where we are now, it's like I think a lot of people that I'll talk to will hesitate to put videos out because their first ones maybe aren't good enough, or like they think what they have to say isn't that important. And there's just no way to be great at your 100th video without doing the first 99. Like you just have to get the reps in and post them, reps in and post them.
So true. So you're recording. Do you do multiple takes or do you just do one take and that's enough?
Yeah, we just do one take. I don't know how to say this without it sounding kind of braggadocious, but like if we have a 10-minute video, we would like press the camera on. I would talk for 10 minutes, we turn it off, and that's the whole video. But that's again coming from a lot of practice. That's just a lot of practice of doing it. So we'll do one. Yeah, we do one take in one video. Same thing with the personal development. But I'm also, Christine, like I'm talking about things that I'm spent a lot of time on and that I'm passionate about. And when I do a video, obviously there's selfish gains you want to have when you're doing videos. Maybe you want to build an online brand, you want to create a secondary source of income, build an online business, whatever it is. But that for me is always underneath, like my mindset is trying to help the person on the other side. Like 99% of my priority is what can I do or say to really help whoever's watching? And with that intention makes to me the performance a lot easier. In the beginning, I would do videos and be all like in my head, like really worried about what I'm saying. Oh, I got to make sure I remember to say this. Oh, I forgot to say this. That didn't come out right. Oh, I look kind of weird. And that really prevented me from, I think, producing good content where like, you're like, hey, let me do another take there. Let me say that again. I want to say this differently. I want to message this. And I think if you can spend less time worried about your performance when you're doing the video, So during the video, it's all like, how do I provide value for the other person? And then after, when you post it, you can look at it and analyze it. Okay, I got to improve this, and practice it. But I think if your intent is real and what comes out is raw, I think that's helped us not have to do, any second takes.
Eric, and with your legal pad, are you just referring to it while you're recording, or do you pause and just maybe record in blocks?
Yeah. So I won't look at it all once we start. Basically, what we'll do is like we'll get ready to film. We get all set up. We're out on the golf course. We're outside. So we set our cameras up. We do our mics, and then right before we film, I'll look at the sheet, keeping in mind I've spent hours the day before, and then I'm very obsessive about things. So like that day of in the shower, I'm thinking about it. When I'm at the gym, I'm thinking about it. Like it's like all that's on my mind is that video that day. And it's something I know really well. So by the time I get to the video, these 3 or 4 things, I'm very in tune with what I want to say, the points I want to be able to make. Doesn't always come out perfect. But right before we film, I'll look and I'll say, like, okay, senior golf swing, closed stance, right hip and shoulder back. These are the benefits. So I'll just refer to that quick before we film, and then I'll go on and film. I think if you're talking about something that's your first couple times doing it, nothing wrong with doing a couple takes, maybe run through a full video. And oftentimes too, when you film your first video, if you're anything like me, my tendency would be to go fast. I would do a 10-minute video. I'm like, I don't even know if I breathed at all during that. Like that came out so fast. I'm like, okay, that was just a practice one. Let me redo that, breathe, like slow down and try it again. So nothing wrong with that. I'm doing that, but I would just quick refer to that as we go. Now with the new personal development ones, it's newer to me to talk about. So this is a good segue. So the golf stuff, I think, because I coached so much and studied so long, very easy transition. Personal development, I've been doing in my own life for 5 to 7 years, but I never talked about it. So we're doing these personal development videos. I don't have the 7 years of talking like you and I one-on-one and going through it. So I'm like working through it as I'm saying it. So for those, we're testing different things. Hey, here's a full script. Here's just the bullet points. Here's me referring back and forth. I find I personally still work best where I just have bullet points. If I get stuck, during the personal development, I might look at it and then, okay, this is what I want to say, and then go back and do it. But I know some people on YouTube that are friends of mine that script every single word and they crush it, and you would never know, and they're incredible. So I think I think that can work. That can work just as good. I just like more. I like kind of have a little free flow of thoughts and things that that can come along as I'm going. Because sometimes I also find it's not winging it because I've got a structure I'm within. But when I give myself a little wiggle room within the structure, sometimes things come out in the moment that I hadn't planned for that turn out really good. So I also want to leave some room for that. And again, like just my point with that, I think that can help someone watching is my main goal with the video is to help the person watching. So like my main goal isn't to provide a perfect message, to not stumble on any words or get everything correct. My main goal is like, there's a person on the other end watching this who wants to improve X. I really want to help them. And so I know if I'm genuine with that anything that comes out of my mouth during that time, I'm going to be okay with.
That makes a lot of sense. I 100% agree with you. So let's talk about titles and thumbnails. How do you approach figuring out the best ones to use?
Yeah, I would model success. So I would look online, see what titles and thumbnails work, and not copy, but model closely the words, the phrases, the thumbnails. Because in a thumbnail, depending upon what industry you're in, there's probably going to be like an image, like a picture of you or a thing, and then there's probably going to be like a phrase or a couple of words. Typically, depends on what's going on, but that'd be like a typical thing. You see an image and then some words. And you can see within your industry what images people click on. Sometimes it's just a person's face, what words people click on. And it could be either one of those two. So maybe you find a thumbnail that worked really good with the person's face and some words on there. You use your picture instead of theirs, but you keep the words or message pretty similar. Or you take the title that they use and use the same thing, but you change a little, one we just did was, you won't believe how good you hit your driver with this drill. that we modeled and said, you won't believe how great you hit your driver with this drill. Very close, slightly different. That has worked extremely well. YouTube and the algorithms they have, videos don't work by accident. So like when your videos come back up and how they decide if they're going to recommend them or who they put them in front of, if a video worked for someone else with a certain title and thumbnail, especially if it's worked in multiple places with similar titles and thumbnails, that is not by accident. There's a reason for that, for whatever the reason is. And so you want to get in that ball game. And like I said, we'll do about 80% of that. Like if this works, just keep pounding it. And then we'll test 20%. Okay, like this is a title and thumbnail that I think would work good for here. Let's try it. You kind of want to like ride the line between like not quite clickbaity, but you got to think a little bit of like news headlines and like shock and awe. There was a book that I don't know the title on that was all about like writing headlines that I saw for some of these magazines that used to be on the stands and like how they would come up with these headlines. And it's like take whatever thing you have and you got to kind of like sex it up a couple levels. Like how could I take, you know, how to let's say you want like how to make $1 million, how to make $1 million in 1 week, how to make $10 million, how I made, you know, $1 million with this one trick. This one tactic led to $1 million of business this week. Like you can take anything and just be like, how could I ramp that up, you know, a level or two? And sometimes people feel, and I felt weird about that in the beginning. Like I wanted to keep it nice and cozy and like how to fix your slice, how to XYZ. But then you look at the people who are getting all the attention, which is what we're trying to get on YouTube. We're trying to get attention. And you look at their titles and thumbnails, and usually you'll see what I mentioned, where it's like it's a level or two, it's a level or two up. Now, it's a little trickier in the beginning when you're starting a channel because no matter what you do, no one's going to watch. You have to like almost just be okay with that. Like for our personal development channel, to give you an idea, we're our first 100 videos we post, to me, I'm not even like, they don't even really matter. It's just let's do the practice. Let's get the 100 videos up. Let's see a little bit of what works or not, but let's just build the muscle. So I think when you guys, if you're doing this, you just look at the first 100 as practice, take some notes as you go. But in terms of title and thumbnail, I think modeling success would be the best way to go. Don't copy, but model very similar 80% of the time and then kind of test stuff 20%.
Eric, and with first 100 videos being practice, at which point do you think people should expect to start seeing some growth? I know it's different in each situation.
Great question. Yeah, it's a great question. It obviously it'll depend on some factors. I can say for my own story, we posted we posted a full year of YouTube videos. This is 2017, 3 a week. We in 12 months we gained 735 subscribers. We made like $250. I think our watch time was pretty good, but let's say we posted a full year, got 700 subscribers, made $200. Now, the caveat is in year one, I thought I was this good golf coach and I wanted to like make this good quality content and just post. So we were posting videos of me giving lessons. It was like real sort of not live videos, but me doing live lessons. And my business partner said, oh, we should do these other style videos. And I didn't want to do them, like these kind of, you know, the videos we were just talking about. And we posted those for a full year. And the content in these videos, I'm like, man, this is like really good stuff. I think these are great videos and no one's watching what's going on. And so finally one day, I remember it was like a long summer day. I just gave like 7 hours of lessons. We posted a video, no one watched it. I'm like, this is stupid. Why are we doing this? And so I was kind of sick of it. And I went online and looked. It was like, who in my industry is getting good views? So I went online. There was like 4 people's names I won't mention, but they were on there. And I looked at their videos and looked at our videos. And our video was like, how to putt better. And their video was like, how to gain 30 yards with this one swing trick, you know, this incredible transfer. It was like that. It was almost, you know, two levels above. Gain 30 yards with this one quick tip. And it was like a tip style video. So that next week, I was like, all right, that's it. We're going to do these. It took Mary a year of saying that to me for me to finally do it. So we did the next week, we posted those tip style videos, clickbaity titles, better thumbnails, how-to videos, and modeled those videos that those people did that were good. And almost overnight, you know, to give you an idea, in that first year, our first couple of videos, 10 views, 30 views, 60 views. We were maybe getting like 100 views per video, maybe at that point, maybe 200. And then by the next year, we started getting, like, I remember the first video got 1,000 views, and then, like, 5,000 views, 10,000 views. So as soon as we changed that strategy in year two, I think we made maybe $20,000 in AdSense in year two, and went from 1,000 to maybe like 10 or 15,000, maybe more, maybe even like 20, 30. And then in year three, I think we made $70,000. This is like AdSense money from YouTube. Got to maybe 70,000 subscribers. Year 400. Once you get some traction going, that's the thing. Like, then it starts kind of like a compounding interest thing. It's like you got kind of compound subscribers. Like, once you can hockey stick after a while. So I think your first year, if you posted 2 videos a week for a year, let's call that 100. I would expect everything is sugar on top. If you get 1 subscriber, that's just bonus. Like, just post the videos. I would say that second year, I would expect to like get some stuff going, right? Like getting some more subscribers. At that point, you've done 100 videos. So you've kind of seen like, oh, these topics no one cares about. People really like this. I don't like talking about that. That's out. Oh, these titles kind of work pretty good. You should have some data to work with, like a big enough sample size to where I think in year 2, if you're not getting traction by the end of your second 100, then I would be like, okay, there's a problem here somewhere. What do I need to do? If you're not getting traction after your first 100, you're like every other human on planet Earth. But if you're not getting any traction after your second 100, let's call that like your second year, then I think there's a hole somewhere in your bucket, and you've got to look at what that is. That could be you. That could be what you're talking about. That could be topics, titles, etc. So I think year 2 would be a good expectation.
Eric, and with the few minutes we have left, I want to talk about monetizing the channel beyond just AdSense, whatever it's called, revenue from ads on YouTube. So what did you learn works best in terms of letting people know that you have a membership and so on, that you have something to offer?
Yeah, it's a great point. So YouTube can be one of those things you hear about, like, people have 9 income, wealthy people have multiple income streams type of thing. That is true within like underneath the YouTube umbrella. You can have AdSense from YouTube. So every advertising dollar they get, you split with YouTube. I think it's 55-45. Let's just say it's 50-50, which goes to show you how much money they're making. Half of every advertising dollar of all YouTube creators. That's a wild amount of money. So you split 50-50. So that can be to give you a scale. Like, we went from 0 to 20 grand to 50 to 100. So like now we might do like 150 to 200,000 a year in YouTube ads. So it can be a significant enough amount of money from that. Then, another thing you want to do on there is probably affiliates. So for us in the golf industry, we'd have affiliate relationships with different golf companies, clubs, for us training aids. For other people in the business world, that might be like a software company that someone might sign up for, things like that you can get paid when someone pays to sign up for whatever their service is. So you put like links in the descriptions, promote those. For us to scale that again, let's say our AdSense is 150 to 200K. Our affiliates are probably in the same range. So it can get like even with that. Membership site or selling your services online should be the biggest thing. So like for us, we sell online golf coaching. So we say, hey, this video helped you with a swing tip. If you want to get specific guidance on what you're trying to do, here's our monthly membership options. And we got various options from there. And what you're trying to do with the content, I heard Alex Ramosi say this, I think this is really good, is you're trying to give the information, but then sell the implementation. And I was like, oh yeah, that's exactly what we do, like unknowingly. Say, here's all the stuff you need to solve your problem, and here's what you're looking for. But that person still needs to implement all that stuff I just told them about. It's like, okay, how am I going to do all these things? Well, for this sort of fee, we'll have an expert guide you through the process, help you identify your root issues. Here's the fixes, guide you along the way. So whatever like the thing is you want to be able to sell, that should be the biggest bucket. Like, I remember in the beginning when I created, hey, this is how we want to build these things. I always had in my mind, I want to do like 100 grand a month from this coaching service. So it was like 2,000 people a month paying $50. That was like our big thing in the beginning. And so every video I push it in every video. Hey, thanks for watching today's video. By the way, if you want the coaching, I think I could really help you. CogornoGolf.com, just let you know about it. Here's what we do. Here's the benefits to you. I would really love to help. And you want to have some sort of no-brainer offer, especially in the beginning. Like you want to have some kind of offer where that person watching is like, okay, like I kind of have to do this. This is a no-brainer thing, especially in the online space, especially if they don't know who you are. Like what's a really no-brainer for them? So that should be like the biggest chunk of the pie, ideally. And then as you go over time, you can get sponsors. Now that's not going to be for someone who's like in the beginning, but as you grow over time, like our sponsorships of companies that sponsor us and sponsors we work with will be bigger than the AdSense and the affiliates this year. So it can be a decent amount of money. But the AdSense, affiliate relationships with other companies. So even if you don't have a product yet to sell yourself, but you're talking about whatever it is, and you have like a software that they would really love to use, you can work with that company and then get a percentage of, usually it's like 10, 15, 20, 30% of all the money that they make. So even if you don't want to sell your own services, you could make a decent amount of money being an affiliate for someone else. Like I know a lot of people who do that and do that very successfully. Um, so I think those four should be the big ones. If you have your own membership site or service, and then and then sponsors. I don't think if there's any other things that creep in. There's some little things that creep in for us sometimes, but those are kind of the big four. But in terms of promoting it, like I always looked at it like we would do 3 videos a week, 10 minutes each. That's 30 minutes of free content. So if I did 30 seconds of promotion per video, that's a minute and a half of me promoting, and you get 30 minutes for free. Like that ratio is perfectly fine. I don't mind asking for someone's business every single time like that. If I have an offer that I think is incredible and I really, really, really think I can help them. So like for me to give an example, I used to, let's say I charge $300 for an in-person golf lesson. I might charge 50 for an online. So it's like, oh my God, hey, the value you're getting from this is so unbelievable. The quality is going to be the same. Got to be some kind of no-brainer, offer in the beginning. But hopefully that gives a good ratio of those.
So it would be the first lesson is cheaper, kind of an opportunity for them to test working with you, or was it always 50?
Yeah, it would be always 50. It'd be always 50. But then like once that offer played out for us, we then did a free trial. So hey, we'll give you this first service for free, and then if you like it, you stay. And then we'd upsell them into some sort of higher product once they would come in. And that's obviously very specific to me. Depending upon what someone's selling, those prices might be far different. But if you've got 0 customers, let's say, and you're trying to build an online brand, just to get those first people in the door, I think that offer's got to be, even if you've got to give up more of your time and energy where it doesn't even almost make sense in the beginning, just to get the ball rolling with those initial customers, which I think is the same for in-person business too.
Definitely. Eric, and are you using any tools like TubeBuddy to figure out the keywords and so on?
Yeah. TubeBuddy has been incredibly helpful for us, which I don't think we had definitely didn't have in the very beginning, but we added that on. TubeBuddy's been unbelievable. I like, because I like the analytical stuff, I can get sometimes too deep in that where I'm looking at every variable possible. And I think there's a lot of good signs and leading indicators in a lot of the data. But so sometimes, like when I see that stuff, for example, I'll see like, oh, people are dropping off at this point of the video, or certain data that then like, oh, I got to make sure at this mark I do X, Y, Z. And then sometimes it takes away from the overall, like, was my goal here with this video to provide them excellent content and help them a lot. So I do think you have to be careful with some of that, because I see some people get too into that and lose the overall message. But having said that, absolutely, TubeBuddy and those things I think are incredible to have things to be able to measure, you know? And even now, like on things on YouTube, I mean, you can test multiple titles, you can test multiple thumbnails. Like the data you get on there is unbelievable.
Eric, anything you would like to share that maybe you wanted me to ask you and I didn't?
I think this was great. I appreciate it. I think those questions were awesome. I hope this was valuable for some of the people listening. I really hope, as an encouragement thing, you know, I think it's really hard to get started. doing the online videos and social media stuff, and then once you get started, it's very difficult to keep going. And I think a lot of people, a lot of us fall off, and I wanted to quit a million times. And a lot of times you quit right kind of right before you get to that hurdle where you could really take off. And so I would encourage you, if you're struggling with the social media and you're listening to this, to take a really good look in the mirror, think about some of the things we talked about. And like, are you putting in your calendar as a priority? Are you looking at each set of videos and trying to improve one thing from the last? Are you really focusing on titles and thumbnails? And are you modeling success? I think if you do those couple of things, that should really help, help the channel grow and get some momentum.
Thank you, Eric. Where can our listeners learn more about you, follow you, find your new channel on personal development? Anything you want to share?
Yeah, thanks. If anyone is interested in golf, Eric Cogorno Golf, that's like our main YouTube channel. If you want to see some of the stuff we talked about and how we do thumbnails and titles and the hooks of the videos and the B-roll and stuff, maybe you can model some of those. And then we just started our personal development channel. That's Lessons I've Learned with Eric Cogorno, EricCogorno. If you're into more personal development stuff like that, those videos will be there.
Eric, thank you so much. I really appreciate you sharing so much. You are incredible. And I really enjoyed speaking to you. And I think that what you shared can be massively helpful for anyone who implements what you shared today. I think definitely worthwhile re-listening to, re-watching, making a lot of notes and implementing, and definitely following you for more advice.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
And our podcast sponsor today is strategytraining.com. If you want to strengthen your strategy skills, you can get the overall approach used in well-managed strategy studies. It is a free download we put together for you at firmsconsulting.com/overall approach. And you can also get McKinsey and BCG winning resume. It is an example of resume that got offers from both firms. And you can get it at firmsconsulting.com/resume PDF. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And I look forward to connect with you all next time.